Hello all. In the last video, we discussed about Spring Boot architecture, right? So in this video, we'll see how to develop a simple REST API with using Spring Boot. See, in Spring Boot, we have multiple layers, I said. Controller layer, service layer, repository layer. But in this video, we'll see only the controller layer. We'll develop a simple REST API with using the controller layer. Alright, let's get started. See, firstly, you should have any IDE to work with Spring Boot application, either Eclipse or IntelliJ. Second, you need to go to Spring Initializer. Okay, go and search for Spring Initializer. Click on the first link. Yes, here, project, select project type as Maven, language Java, and Spring Boot snapshot version 4.0.5. That's fine. And coming to the metadata, uh, group id you can give it something anything. I'm just giving com.htm. Artifact id nothing but it is an project name. Okay, so here I'm giving youtube htm something one. Okay, and what about package name, it's up to you. I'm giving it as an com.htm as in package name. Moving ahead, keep this packaging type as jar, and configurations as properties. And Java, you can go with 21 or 17, anything is fine. I'm going with 17. Coming to the right side, there you can find a dependencies option. Add dependencies. Firstly, you should have to add web dependency, which is very, very important dependency to create a web application with using Spring Boot. See, this web dependency is used to build web, including RESTful applications and applications with using Spring MVC. Your Spring Web application will uses Apache Tomcat is an as an default embedded server. No need to install any embedded server. The Spring Web application will automatically uses Spring Boot Apache Tomcat as a default embedded server. Okay, and after that you can add one more dependency, which is dev tools, developer tools, Spring Boot dev tools. This will help us to auto restart the application. For example, if you want to make any changes, it will be auto restarted. Okay, that's all enough. See, this Spring Boot dev tools dependency is not mandatory dependency, whereas your Spring Web dependency is a mandatory dependency. Okay, yeah, that's all. Click on generate, download it. Okay, now right click on this. This is a zip file. You need to extract this zip file. Right click on this. There you can find extract all. Extract this. Once you extract it, go back to your IDE. Okay, so once you open this IDE, there you can find the file option, file import. Select import, select Maven here. Inside Maven, there is a second option, existing Maven project. Select this one, click on next. And now browse this. So where you downloaded, go to downloads. Just now we downloaded YTSTM1, right? Select this one, select folder. Okay, that's all. Now click on finish. Yes, see, it's getting imported. It's take little time to import. Okay, it's imported. Now open this application. See YTSTM1. There you can see the folder structure, source, main, Java. So once you open this folder, source folder, there you can find your package name, com.htm, that what I have given. And then there you can find application.java file. If you open this, there you can find our main method, which is public static void main. This class by default it will be annotated with @Spring Boot application annotation by default. This is the starting point of our entire Spring Boot. So if you want to start the application, right click here, run as, run on, uh, run as Java application, the second option. See, yes. See, Tomcat started on port number 8080. The port number is 8080. Okay, now, okay. So now let's create the controller. Right click on the package, new class. Controller is a class. So I'm placing this class in a separate package, stm.controller. And now I'm giving class name as, let's suppose, my controller. My controller. That's all. Click on finish. Yes. So this my controller is a class. If you want to make this my controller class as a controller class, you need to use an annotation, which is an controller annotation. That's all. And if you want to get the response directly on the browser, you can add one more annotation, that is response body annotation. Response body. That's all. That's all. Okay. Let's create a method. Public return type I'm writing as string, something get message, something the method. And here I'm just writing a string of message equals to welcome to Spring Boot. Welcome to Spring Boot. Okay. Now I'm returning my message. That's all. Now I just created a method, a normal Java method. We already know. And this my controller class has become a controller by using this annotation called controller. Why I'm adding this annotation, response body annotation? To get this response directly on the browser. But the now question is, when this method will be executed, we need to map. To map, we can use an annotation which is get mapping annotation. Okay, and get mapping, let's suppose message I'm giving. So whenever a request come with this URL, it will hit this URL and automatically the related method will be executed. Accordingly, you can expect this output on the browser. Let's see. Save this. See, auto restarted because of dev tools. Okay. Now go back. What is the port number? Come on, 8080. Okay. Now localhost. Localhost. What is the port number? 8080. Great. Slash. What is the request? Message. See, welcome to Spring Boot. See, within 2 minutes, we just created a REST API with using only the controller. See, I have created only the controller, nothing else. Directly request came here. This URL triggered. Accordingly, the related method executed. You got this output directly on the browser. In the next video, I'll add service layer, and then we'll see um, Hibernate with data JP also to understand the repository layer. All right. Thank you.